So, Michael, as we look back on kind of the pieces that we put in place and the pieces that we are putting in place, I just want to kind of recap some of those elements that we see as key critical elements within your environment, right? Obviously, the big thing is you've got people that are doing deliveries or you want operational data, whether that be on the sales side, whether that be on the delivery side. We want to be capturing that information, such as what's being projected to come in, or what is our budgets on a project, or what are our changes on it, or what are we expecting our labor costs to be, right? We want to capture that operational data and financially, and not just for an income statement balance sheet, but bring that in. And so this is where we then have to have a financial brain. And as we've talked about before, is we do look at the accounting system as a financial brain. It's not because we're accountants and we're egotistical and we want that to be the source, but it is the only system within the environment that is actually touching all the areas. It's touching the sales side, it's touching the delivery side, it's touching the invoicing side, and all of those elements are there. So that makes it the logical place to capture data, to store data, and to map that data. And so we brought in this financial brain and the mapping of how this information is flowing to basically turn your accounting system into a cube of data that then could be used for both reporting as well as financial planning. And then we've also brought in this planning and forecasting system. And so this allows us to take the data that we've seen and allows us to bring it into a tool that's going to help us forecast. And we know that this tool is going to be scalable. Just like the financial systems, everything we put it within this system is highly scalable. So you can get it when you're a smaller company and grow into it, but you don't have to absorb all of the costs of doing a giant SAP or Oracle system. It can match your budget as you go through this process. And then the last piece that we brought to the table is integration. Whether it's you working with a vendor managed integration and making sure that their integration will flow to meet our informational input and output goals, or whether it's to build an integration on a system that may not be connected, or it's to go ahead and take advantage of a system like a Salesforce and pipe their data directly to where we need it. And so as we've kind of worked through that, Michael, tell me a little bit about kind of how that experience was as we kind of put these pieces together through that process.
Yeah, it was really eye-opening when we went through the analysis of where we were, where we wanted to go, and working with IFI as they analyzed our processes. We were at a situation where, we didn't know what we didn't know. And the problem in that area is you think you have best-in-class processes, understanding that you have a manualness, but you don't know anything else outside of that. And when IFI came in and Jim really dug their teeth into, what Envoy's goals were, it allowed us to really see the benefits of the connected tools. And as Jim, as you mentioned, having a financial brain and why that was so important. To really have a system that is the functionality that touches each tool like an octopus, and from there on, allowing us to adapt and scale because the world is changing. The world is changing every year. Since we started this 4 years ago, there's been many changes. Like revenue recognition, 606, we had to make sure that we had processes in place and tools in place that can adapt and are flexible enough to produce the same amount of output and also real-time data that was needed. We're going through a pandemic right now, and it's critical that you have the tools in place and the systems up and running, or else the process fails. So, Jim, when you guys started and took this on 4 years ago and really came in as consultants for the Envoy group, it laid a foundation that we didn't really knew existed, and it's helping us, get there now.